In your face.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And some good running out of the gates as he takes this up to the 33. First down Lions on a pickup of 13.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Oh, he's going to let this go for the end. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. As his guys are in for 6. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Now, these guys scored touchdown after touchdown in that win a week ago. So how do they come out this week? Same way. They've got that momentum going. A touchdown on the opening drive.
I think it's safe to say that they're in a groove, isn't it? I mean, a lot of times we've seen where teams have scored a ton of points the week before. The very next week struggle to score almost as if they used it all up. Not in this case. This group appears locked in.
We're going to have to make some adjustments if you're on the other side of that football. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 26. To throw is Winston. It's caught by Mike Evans. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice,
a fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now a play fake here on first down. Looking deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from it. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Looking to throw. King. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to Vita Vea. Let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern.
That's caught inside the 20. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 18. A big play like that looks familiar, doesn't it? Like we saw a week ago, reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Nothing wrong with being explosive. Nothing wrong with being electric. Nothing wrong with carrying it over from the previous week off to a really, really hot start.
Back to throw. King. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. The intended target, T.J. Hawkinson. And now it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
This is caught. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
One of the selling points of the corner route is usually the receiver is able to move away from the defender. But in this case, he didn't get that far away.
Again, he'll drop to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hand, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it. Another shot from the one on 2nd and goal. On the toss, here's Johnson. There he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. No success on first down. He couldn't get any yardage. They give it to him again, and he finds the end zone.
Sometimes it just has to be persistence, doesn't it? And you know who else helps with that? Offensive line. After a team's been stuffed, the last thing they want to do is go to a different play call. They want to come back and do it again and show that they can dominate the line of scrimmage.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15, and the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
To throw is King on 1st and 10. Going deep downfield for Ross. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Ready? Black 25.
On first down, Carson. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Winston. He finds his target. It's Evans. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Mike Evans, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense.
He's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It's a gain of 34.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Going deep downfield for Ross. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction. offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Looking to throw. King. Looking left side. It's complete. He's got it. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 21. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. And that'll bring up second down.
Check 45 to Mike. Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
King now to throw again. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Will Parks. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. Then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. But it's going to be second down. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. From the shotgun to give to Jones. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
I'm coming after you.
Well, the jet sweep. This is Godwin. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Winston. He's going to fire one deep. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And that 14-0 lead to begin the ball game, well, that's gone now. Time to regroup.
I think even up 2 touchdowns, they knew this wasn't going to be a walk in the park, and I think that's why we would see the head coach going up and down the sidelines telling his team, let's stay with it, let's keep going. It's almost like he knew they were going to make their run at him, and they have. As you said, let's see if they can regroup and get going again.
The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
2nd and 4. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. That's a 1st down with a cherry on top, 31 yards.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
2nd quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 2nd and 2. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hall. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. The tally there, minus 2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
It's 3rd and 11.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. King from the gun, he'll throw. Looking for the end zone. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now, the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate, in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go!
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Winston. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Winston. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
He had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. Touchdown, Detroit! In for the score. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
The extra point splits the uprights, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They're down now 24-14. Work to do as they come up on a 1st and 10. Winston. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Winston. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Now, that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
And from their own end zone, it's a fake. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. Here's King throwing on 1st down. Flush to his right. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
While you admire anyone trying to pick up an additional couple of yards, they're just not worth it when you take shots like that. Quarterbacks have to stay in the game and stay on the field.
Danny. 57.
2nd and 1. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. C.J. Mosley, the linebacker, making sure his presence is felt. In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Back to throw. King. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Now Winston. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Will Harris there to make the play.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
That's what I do.
Play action now. Winston. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the 1st half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the 2nd half. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a 1st down. Jameis now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Check 13. Check 13. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Jameis again. And this is caught by Evans. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there at 22. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47.
Back. Wide. Get wide. Hey, 5 on the 50.
To the air again with Winston. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Trey Flowers able to record his 5th sack of the season. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get, because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
To try again after the sack. Winston looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Will Harris. And a return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. That one goes for 24 yards. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Looking to throw. King. Now he's flushed out left. And out of bounds right around the 20. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Back to throw. King. Got a man open. It's Ross. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation. They come out here in the eye. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Looking to throw. King. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. On 2nd and 10, Winston. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Winston. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Second and 10 from the 33-yard line. They'll throw again. Winston. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. Now Howard stripped. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Winston throwing complete to Mike Evans. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And the Buccaneer first down.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10, down at the 33. Again, it's Winston. He'll get this complete to Batson.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Jameis to throw it. And Brate, the tight end's got it. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Cameron Brate, his first touchdown on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. One-score game here. Got to be careful.
And this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What is everyone's?
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. Remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing, Winston. He finds his target. It's Evans. It's a big play. Winston to Evans. 43 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Winston now. Complete to Jones. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
A first down throw for Winston. And that one falls incomplete. Try to dump it underneath. Now 2nd down. I guess they're in a situation. Now fourth quarter where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. To throw is Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Trey Flowers in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Flush, and he's going to go down again.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
This will be taken very short. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first down, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw. King. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. First down Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
That's good for the Lions. First down. First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Vita Vea breaking through to get the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Looking to throw. King. Yeah, he'll find Hall. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. A gain of 7, and they pick up the first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Watch the out. Watch the out. Hey, alert 3. Alert 1.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. Open man is Ross, complete. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 15-yard line. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw. King. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
He's crashing. He's checking crash. Green, Timothy. Switch. Green, Timothy. Let's go.
Following the interception, Winston. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Jarrett Davis in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
He's back to throw. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on 4th down. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Winston to throw for it on 4th. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. They find some open field here. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
It's probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
This is fielded at the goal line. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for Detroit, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And now they'll head to the bye week as they'll be back in action in Week 8. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.